played in Italy before that, and as we know, the stadiums there are much more bigger. You know, they take 60, 70, and up to 80,000. And but the crowd were more enthusiastic here. You know, it was a bigger noise.
I invited so many friends here, you know, who came from France to watch the games, and sometimes I said, "Sorry, you didn't see a great game. Come back." And they always say, "We thank you so much, because that's unique what we have discovered today. That kind of vibes between the game and the supporters that exist here. It is something special. Everybody describes it as a unique experience."
Highbury's last day was also the last day of active service for Bob List. The corps of commissionaires have been a distinctive visible presence at the ground for over 80 years.
Well done, lads. Okay. The actual corps have been here about since the 1920s, but I've been here for the last 11 years. Duties are really is knowing the people. A lot of people haven't got passes. It's a security job, really, making sure the right people get into the directors' boxes and things like that. And you have to have quite a memory, so really it's a job of experience. When I was a young man, I'm talking about the 50s, I used to walk past here and I used to see this upright Nobby Clark he was a legend of the corps, young man with the old red sash. And to me, that was the Arsenal. The gunners and the Arsenal. The corps and the gunners, they just go together, they always have done.
There's a phrase that people always used to say about Arsenal, how they would do things the right way. And look after people and do things with perhaps a touch of class. And it does tell you, I think, when you come in here, oh, you know, it's you're not just wandering through a turnstile somewhere. It's a bit special.
Well, Arsenal has a bit of grandeur about it. It still has an upper class feeling about it. It has a feeling of tradition about it. I mean, you don't do this by a fluke. You don't do this because you've got a nice name that fits on a programme. Basically, you do this because year after year, decade after decade, you keep being very good.
Matchday hospitality goes back a long way at Highbury, and when Aston Villa played there in April, Vice Chairman David Dean offered the usual warm welcome.
Dad, how are you? Welcome to Highbury.
After 37 years, I've been coming here with Peter Hillwood, David Dean, and it's a great pleasure to be here. Except that we need 3 points today, much more than you do, my friend, and that's all important to us. Doug,
people say that Arsenal do things in the right way, but Arsenal is a company, so someone within the company has to do those things, and we've made sure that each of the people with individual responsibilities carries that forward. The flowers, for instance, are always in the colours of the visiting team, and if flowers don't grow with those colours, then they dye the flowers to the colours of the visiting team. That still goes on today.
Well, the tradition, of course, weighs very heavily on the club, but we've always tried to hold up the highest standards, and of course then hopefully the next generation will continue, and obviously going to a new stadium which will take it to yet another level again.
In the final season at Highbury, the pitch was certainly of the highest standard, thanks to head groundsman Paul Burgess and his team.
I really wanted the pitch to be good this year, and I think if you look back on the videos, I think the pitch this year has been the best I can ever remember it, and if not the best ever pitch Highbury's ever had.
The thing I love the most obviously is the pitch, because as a player that's the most important thing. You know, players can tell you whatever they want, you know, the stadium is amazing, but if the pitch is not good, you know, that's where you have to perform, and obviously for me even more, and the way we play also, you know, we play 1-2 touch football, so if the pitch is not great, that becomes more difficult. But at Highbury the pitch is just, the grass is just amazing.
If you're going to sign a player for £20 million, you want to see the skill of the player, not the lack of skill of the football pitch. You know, years ago, a groundsman player had one shovel, a wheelbarrow with a flat tyre, where now it's far more advanced and it's all becoming far more scientific.
You could play snooker on it, never mind tennis. It's ridiculously lawn, doesn't it? I mean, if my garden was a tenth as good as that, that would be okay.
Paul's labours were rewarded with the 2005-06 Groundsman of the Year award, but the best honour is the respect and praise of the players and the manager.
Most of the teams are pleasantly surprised by the quality of our pitch. And somewhere, you know, what I will miss the most is here, that quality, because I love grass and I love super pitches, and because I feel when this pitch is really a little bit wet and perfect like it has been all season, it's just a pleasure. And many players came here. I told Zidane when he played at Real Madrid, you know, when you come to London, you will discover one thing: quality pitch, where you will enjoy. You will realize what you missed not to go to England, and he realized that.
The players don't want to be worrying about the pitch. They want to concentrate on their own game. So the important thing is to make sure the pitch has no negative effect on the ball, in terms of that it rolls well, it bounces consistently, and any bad bounce on the pitch will be seen as my fault. Although I can't go on the pitch during the game and start putting the divots back, so it's, you know, your hands are tied. But and where we sit, because we're right by the dugout, if there is a bad bounce, the whole dugout's like this, looking. So it's not always a great place to sit.
No record of Highbury would be complete without recalling some of its finest moments, although some didn't even involve football.
Dennis Compton of Middlesex and Arsenal goes out to bat for his football club against his cricketing county and helps to make 252 runs in just over an hour. The 12,000 spectators who saw this spirited display of cricket fireworks dreamed that it might be like this one day in a test match. The Highbury ground hadn't discarded its signs of football, and when Ted Drake appeared at the wicket wearing his Arsenal jersey with his centre-forward number prominently displayed, it was too much for the other Arsenal boys. And with the soccer season about to open, they decided that a little practice shooting would fit the occasion too.
In May 1966, Highbury hosted the World Heavyweight title fight between British hope Henry Cooper and the legendary champion Cassius Clay.
If you lose, are you going to retire?
Well, yes, I'll retire if anybody beats me, but just tell the people that looks like rain tonight. I hope it's not too bad. Get your old clothes and your umbrellas and be comfortable, because rain or snow, we're going to rumble.
That was probably one of the most exciting times of anyone's life, particularly mine. We had 6 weeks build up to that fight, worked 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. We boarded the pitch over, put 7,000 seats on the pitch. We actually boarded it 1 week before the fight in order to ensure the pitch could still grow whilst the fight was on. It was the biggest thing that ever happened. I think it was probably the biggest outdoor world title fight ever. More than 40,000 people here. Big, big day.
Clay, later to become Muhammad Ali, won the fight. But 40 years on, Cooper returned for Highbury's closing ceremony, and the ground still holds a place in his heart.
It's brought back a million memories. Just walking through that tunnel, it just brought it all back. And I can remember, like, you know, being in the home dressing room, which was marble, and I'm thinking, yeah, these footballers have got it cushy. Look at all this marble, beautiful baths and showers, and as I say, it was just a great day. And I could hear all the crowds like NRE, chanting, and it brought it all back. It's walking down there again.
Highbury has also staged international football matches, most famously in 1934, when England fielded 7 Arsenal players against Italy.